Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I was working in the garden on the weekend, helping my wife with the raised garden bed. And boy, I'll tell you what, that is a lot more work than what you think it is. Anyhow, so guys, this morning's Coffee Chat may go a tad bit longer because of what I feel is so vitally important to talk about. Guys, I want to talk about the mind game of crypto. And I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest issues that as a crypto investor, you are going to face. And I want to give you some things that have helped me to actually be successful in this mind game situation. So as we know, crypto is loaded with volatility. I mean, we see massive swings up and humongous swings down, even on a trend up. Sometimes as we're going up the ladder, you're going to see a 30, sometimes 40% drop and then a pop right back up and things like that. And that can absolutely rattle the nerves of some of the most steeled people in the investment space who are not used to that kind of volatility. So guys, what I want to talk to you about are the 3 P's, and then there'll be a bonus P at the end. So guys, these are principles that I have learned to apply into my life that have helped me to be able to be successful in this mind game. And not only this mind game, but a whole bunch of other issues in my life. And the first P is purpose. Guys, never underestimate the power of purpose. So what am I talking about there? Well, guys, we all have goals. Most of us are invested in this space because our goal is our purpose. Our what is to be financially independent and have that financial freedom in our lives. And that is a very good goal, in my view, to pursue because of what it can achieve for you in life. So that is our what. But guys, our why we're doing it is far more vital than our what. So let me explain. So why do we want financial independence? Well, you say, well, you know, because I can pay off all my debt. Well, paying off your debt is a why. Why do you want your debt paid off? Well, because I cannot stand the weight of this on my shoulders. And not only that, I don't like to be beholden to anybody, and I just don't feel free when I'm in debt. That's a why. Another one, you know, I'm my nose is to the grindstone. I don't have much opportunity to be around my family. My kids are growing up, and I'm missing it, and I want financial freedom so I can have more time with my family. That's a why. You peel back the layers of the what onion to get to the why. And your why is so vitally important. And this is where I encourage folks to write down their goals. Now, I have a friend of mine, and this guy is brilliant. I mean, brilliant. He is literally a rocket scientist. I kid you not. He owns a company that is in the aerospace industry, and he has some serious what goals to achieve for this company. Big, big goals. But guys, when he described to me his why, I'm telling you, it really had an impact on me. He is utilizing his technology to bring about ethical stem cell research. And the why he's doing it is to save lives. Is that people that he loves and cares about don't have to go through suffering. And I'm telling you guys, that why has helped this guy jump through so many hurdles that most of us, in fact, I believe would have given up. And I have great respect because he is focused on his why. Your why is going to be so vitally important. And my encouragement is get to know your why. Next one, the next P. The next P is promise. Now, what do I mean by promise? I'm not talking about, oh, so-and-so made a promise to thus and so and that type of thing. No, when I say the word promise, I'm talking about when we say statements like, oh, he has so much promise in his future, or that investment holds a lot of promise. and that type of thing. Guys, in that context, promise equals hope. Now, hope is one of those quintessential things you have got to keep alive. And when you're going through all this volatility, sometimes it's so easy to get discouraged and to lose hope because it's not happening as fast as you want, or the FUD is getting on the inside, what other people are saying, and that fear takes over, all that. It is so vital that you protect your heart. You protect that hope. Now, how do you keep hope alive? Well, guys, one of the big things about hope is it deals a lot with our self-talk on the inside. If you go around saying, there it goes again, I knew this was going to happen, it never works out for me, and things like that, then that can literally be like a cancer to kill that promise in you, that sense of, my future's going to get better, not worse. Things are happening well. And I want to share with you guys, look, I used to have a terrible self-talk. And you know how I overcame that? When I would go to work, the office space that I worked in was humongous. And their parking space was just enormous. Well, I'd park as far from the entrance as I possibly could. And as I would walk into that office, I would say things out loud to myself. And I would say things about, hey, you have a good life before you. God loves you. Your family loves you. You're going to succeed at this. This is not too difficult for you. You have a great future ahead, and things like that. And I would start developing this positive self-talk so I didn't get roped into losing that sense of hope, because, guys, despair can be very real, but it can also be overcome. Your mind is such a powerful machine and so well defined that you can actually change circumstances by virtue of renewing that mind. Now, another thing about that is this. Guys, when we are living in that negative self-talk and we've lost that sense of promise and hope, when negative things happen, our focus sees that. And we miss out on some really amazing opportunities because we're not focused there. We can't see that spectrum. But when that changes and that self-talk changes, and you will see a change. If you're doing what I'm telling you, you will see a change. And it may sound ridiculous. It may even feel ridiculous when you're doing it. But I'm telling you, it works and it makes a difference. And what happens is a change takes place. And you start to see, wow. You start to see more and more positive things. Why? Because you're tuned into those frequencies. I don't know why it works that way. All I know is that it does. And I would encourage you, if you're struggling in that area of feeling fearful and lack of hope, keep your promise alive. There's a saying, I've heard this before, a flickering wick, Sometimes you come, and I know what it feels like to be like that, guys, where you're just a flickering wick and it feels like at any time, someone can come and snuff that out. I'm telling you, fan that into a flame and watch and see just how amazing that has in your life. Now, the third P. It's a good one. The third P is perspective, and it builds on the last two. So, guys, I have a kind of a philosophy. It's kind of quirky, but it works for me. And it's about perspective. We're all like Swiss cheese, guys. We all have our holes, but we all have our cheese. Now, I can focus on the holes, the things missing, things I don't like, all that. Or I can focus on the cheese. I can focus on the substance and all that. Now, I can do that with myself, and I can do it with other people. And that's what grace is all about. You have to have grace for yourself and grace for others. Realize, guys, that sometimes you're going to make a mistake. But you don't have to keep making that same mistake. Realize that, there are things sometimes that are going to happen because they come from outside influences. Life isn't fair. And, maybe you didn't fall down. Maybe you were pushed down. It's not the falling down or the pushing down that matters. It's whether we stay there or not. We can choose, guys, to truly get back up and have a perspective in our life that says, hey, I'm going to make it. I'm going to go somewhere. Now, guys, with myself, I'll tell you one of my holes is this. I'm not great at social interactions. And when I'm in those situations, sometimes I get nervous and I talk a lot. And, you know, that can be a real hole because, you know, you cut people off unintentionally, or, you know, you're not truly hearing the message clearly or that. And that's a hole. But guys, there is a cheese part of that too. The reason why sometimes I get like that and I talk too much like that is because I'm thinking. I have a very analytical mind, and I think. Well, that habit of being a thinker has helped me and has blessed my life in such ways that it has been amazing. Certainly in this space, it helped me with all the research that was doing, and I've been able to sometimes see things that other people haven't been able to see. When I was working for the government, I could literally memorize big chunks of legislation. So when I went into competitive processes for promotions, man, I did very well. And so that is something I accept in me. I accept in me that, yes, my mind is an analytical mind, and sometimes I miss that social thing. My wife, on the other hand, she is a social genius. I don't know anyone who does not love Judy when they meet her. She is such a social person, and it is a great thing. And she has got me beat hands down with emotional intelligence, you know, and I really admire that in her. But hey, she has her holes too. There are certain things that, you know, she has a hard time understanding various things about, you know, this or that. And that is not a criticism. It's just an observation. But look, I'm not focusing on her holes. I'm going to focus on the substance of who she is, the things I love about her. And yeah, there's things that get on our nerves with one another, like I'm sure in every relationship. But those are holes, guys. Where am I going to put my perspective? What am I going to focus on? That's what's important to understand there. And so what I'm saying to you in that regard is have the right perspective. Focus on the things that matter most. If there's something good to think about, think of that. If there's something, you know, noble to think about, think of that. Don't think about all the things that are bad in this world, although there are many of them and we need to discuss them, but let's not stay there. So perspective. Now, guys, that brings me to the final P that is really what this is all about from the beginning anyway, perseverance. Guys, knowing your why over your what and having purpose, just fanning the flames of promise inside you and having the right perspective are going to give you the ability to persevere, and you're going to win this mind game. So guys, I really hope that this has been positive, something good for you. That's what I've got for Coffee Chat today. And later on today, we're going to have our regularly released video, and I believe it's going to be a good one. So guys, have a great day, and thanks for sticking around. Talk to you later.